Imagine a beautiful door right in front of you. Speak loud and clear. Who's coming through?
With, with greetings to you all. We're coming through with a message for you that we find appropriate to bring forward now. It's time for you all to release old belief that holding you back in your struggle to ascend to a higher knowledge and level. You're holding and clinging on to many different beliefs that not have any role in your life anymore. You need to get release of anger. You need to get release of fear. And something more that holding you back is your thought about collecting wealth. You need to get release of that thought. You have to spread love around you in a much higher rate because you have a lot of love that you can share, to other people that is in need of that energy. And also, as we have told you before, it's very good for you to go back into nature and take in that energy that you can receive there. You also need to be able to connect in a way when you are not defensive mode. If you are in a defensive mode, you will not receive anything. Not anything will come into you as your soul being. It will only affect your manifestation, your body, and the physical aspect of you. So release all that is holding you back. I thank you for being able to give you this message now.
Thank you very much for coming through, and we appreciate that message. And I know it'll be well received. Might we ask whom we're speaking to, just for the sake of continuity?
You can have the label of Resida. Resida. I can see.
Welcome, Rasila.
I can REZADA. Seda.
Reseda.
Yes.
Reseda. That reminds me of Reseda ticuli. Nothing to do with that, is it?
Maybe.
Oh, very good.
We're coming through from the 15th dimension to talk to you.
Ah, the 15th dimension. Very good. Is this in the Orion spell in terms of in our physical manifestation?
We are manifested on a planet that is orbiting around two suns. It, it is in your galaxy.
How beautiful. What else can you tell me about your existence and your connection with us and this planet and the entire universe?
As you probably know, there's a lot going on in many different levels on your planet and many more planets. On your planet, there is going on shift in the elites, shift in the ideas, and shift in the controls. They have tried to control the masses through fear. That's why we push on this, that you need to get rid of that energy. It's holding you back, and the elites and governments all over the planet know about that. It's the most efficient way to keep back the masses and keep control of you. We also can tell you that there is coming some technology soon into your reality that will benefit you all. We will not go into details, but it will soon be revealed for you that this is new technology that will have a big impact for the way you live and in the way you perceive your surroundings. And it will also put a distance between you and the control they try to have upon your existence here on this planet.
Beautiful. Who will present this new technology?
They are coming out of your science world, but they are getting help there to develop the technique from the from other entities in the galaxy that have a higher rate of knowledge of this technology, but it will be presented from your science on the planet.
These are, of course, other entities that have our best interest in at heart.
Definitely, yes.
And what about yourself, Rosetta? Uh, how do you exist in your on the planet? That are you in the energetic field of the planet, and that you, or how does?
We can say that I'm working in the energy field on the planet, and I'm working together in different communities to bring knowledge into your reality. And we do this in a way you do now, presenting for many. We do this in smaller groups where we are participating in different science projects because it's necessary for you to go past the earlier perception that you need to use fossil fuel to receive energy that is not anymore consistable to do that in the way you have done in the future or in the past, I mean, because it's necessary to change the future of the planet.
And the way we're using fuel. Understood. Is do we have technology already that has been confiscated and put on a that's been confiscated and kept from us? That's been developed by human beings.
There have
That
been trial to put forward energy solutions before, but they have been suppressed by the elite that were then still in a very much power of affecting everything. Because when you're scientists getting closer to anything, with or without help from outside, they pull out the foundings for that research they're doing, and it just come to an halt.
understood. They pull the funding away. So
Yes, that has been a very effective way to control what's going on. That's why we want you to think about the monetary system you have, that just now is is a benefit for the few in the top and not for all. You have to redistribute these foundings, these resources in your monetary system to get in use to the masses and not for a few.
What will be the difference this time when this new technology is presented? Is it because the vibration is so high that it'll be protected and they won't have any power to stop it? Or what's going to be the difference before it was able to be stopped?
It's not,
What won't stop it this
it's
time?
not founded in the same way as it used to be. It's founded from individuals. It's founded from light workers. It's founded from a different source. The governments have no influence what's going on now. So they are
Excellent.
not able to stop that in that way. They will still try, they will still do anything to stop its knowledge to getting out to the masses, but they will not succeed in that. It's futile. It's meant to be now. It's necessary to be now if you want to preserve your humanity and your planet. It must be stopped.
Understood. Very good. And did you know that we were coming in advance to have this communication with you?
Yes, of course, we are in a constant communication with you.
With Lars and myself?
Lars and yourself and other entities on the planet that are working for the benefit of all. Yes.
The last time we came, we were speaking to the Council of Nine uh, from the elders of the Orion Council of Nine. Are you a part of that particular community? Just curious.
There could be no other way than that we are working together for, for a goal that we have set in our mind to perceive, to get out of the dark energy that has been lingering on the planet for so many years now. And you, Lars, us, and many, many more light workers is doing this. And they are boosted with energy to keep on going, and so are you. And we are in many different ways communicating on many different levels, and will do so for a long time ahead of us.
Understood. So we're all working together with the same intention and purpose. So,
As you have decided, yes.
okay, innately we are connected. Very good. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us as well? Um, that would be in our best interest? Anything different than what we've discussed before, please?
We want to tell you that it's very important to stop think I and to stop think us. And in many, many countries around the world, the I has been for many, many years now the most important for people. That's why we are bringing this forward, because you have to stop worshipping the people that that in your mind are doing the most, because they are doing the least. They are just hinder you all others entity on your planet to develop in any way.
So I notice whenever I'm doing my writing the poems, a lot of times I'm saying you as if I'm channeling from somewhere else, and then consciously I'll change it to our, and then I'll use we. Is
That is the way we need to think from now on, because I does not exist. You are not a singular being. We are all connected. All are connected in a higher reality when that you have suppressed for so long time. And the elite have helped you believing that this is the way you should think, because they can still be in charge and in control. But that is fading out of your reality now. More and more of you bringing forward the message that we need to change this for all. We need to change the flow of wealth and, and resources in one direction, because it needed to be spread equally to everyone, because we are all everyone.
Very good. I understand that you can't go into detail about the technology that's coming forward. Um, will this technology be evenly distributed around the world uh, by several different sources all working together, or will it manifest one place and then spread? We're just curious.
Now it will manifest in many different places, because it's not one group working on this. There are many groups working, and they're working together, and they're going to put it out for everyone for free. You will not be charged with anything. You will just receive this this technology free of charge, because there is so bad energy if you're trying to charge for something that is given for free.
Understood. I guess trying to asking um, when when is just pretty much futile. So
If
I
we ta-
have
if we're thinking linearly, we can say that it will take a couple of years to be in full exposure. But it's going on now, and you will get a little glimpse out of what's going on really soon. You will be able to read documents about the technique, and it will be publicly released. So every one of you, through your technology that you have now, through your computers, through your way of communicating, it's the way you're going to get knowledge about this technique, and it's coming soon.
very good. Thank you very much for that. Well, Lars has had some pretty amazing um, encounters, and we had a desire to discuss those encounters. Are you familiar with the visitations that he's had thus far?
Yes, it's coming out of the same group.
And these are 15th dimensional entities that are lowering their vibration in order to have a, is it a holograph that he's interacting with, or are they been able, well, one I know, well, two were been able to, he's been physically been able to actually touch and hold their hand. um,
Yes, they can manifest in that way if they want.
and what about the last two gentlemen in the park near the seaside? um,
They were there to remind him of focus of the path he has already stepped onto, and going on in the right direction. He's going to have to do some more intimate work with some groups in his country and in other countries. where it has before been very difficult to work across the borders, but that is now opening up, and he is going to do more of a physical manifestation in these groups to help bring this technology into the reality of you.
And is there a reason why they've been coming so consistently? Are you feeling like he's doubting himself and that he needs to have that type of reinforcement? Or
He needs the type of reinforcement just to have enough energy to go forward. He's on the path, he's going in the right direction, but we boost him with energy to have what it takes to do this work from now and into the future.
so is that's what's happening in these encounters? He's being boosted with energy to help facilitate
Yes, and
what's to come.
also get rid of all doubts that he sometimes have had in his mind before, that it is reality what is going on, and it's not his mind going crazy or something. He's had been a very doubtful being, even though he's in his higher self are much aware of what is going on, and he can get into that reality whenever he wants, but still he asks himself if he is imagining, or if this is just a trick of his mind, or is it something else that is influencing him. But now he are very much assured that this is reality, and many other things outside him is not the reality. It's just a computer game playing on, and he really realized that now, and he's doing well and going on the right path. And by the way, so are you. You are on the same path, but you have different tasks to do in this collaboration of work that is being done.
Very good. Um, oh, and so when they're as their boost is okay. Those entities, those light entities that showed up in the video in the last session that we were doing, was that also another reason? The reason for that light shooting through the video throughout the entire session, and even in the conversation before the session, are these also validations for him or more proof for both of us?
In a way, yes, but it was also manifested, that energy to show that you are connected, and they are connected to you, they are connected to him, and they are connected to us. And that's the way we show that this energy does exist, and it's a reality, and now you can see it.
Ah, understood. And then, of course, also for the, we're of course going to post these, and this is also for the listeners as well, or the observers.
That's correct, because you're doing this in a tent to get the knowledge out there. You're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this in a part of the work you're being doing. You're doing in a different levels, but have still the same goal.
Ah, very good. And was it there when, as I was observing the light flashes and they're flying through, it looked like one hit the crown of his head, one hit right where the third eye is, and one hit right in his throat chakra. Those three particular, I call them strikes, or however you want to put it. Uh, Was that a message? Was that because I took it as a message? Were they literally working or was what was going on there? Were they doing things to his chakras in those instances?
In a way, your crown chakra, you have to understand that when you are manifested on this planet now, you came into this reality with no memories of what have happened to you before. And this energy was there to take away that veil you have in your third eyes that hinder you to see what really is the reality. And when we boast his voice box, they say voice box, it
That's
was,
his throat chakra. That's where it's located.
yes, we know that, but that
Okay.
was to help him to be able to communicate in a freer way and don't hesitate when he's giving the message. He do that often in your language, and he also going to do that in his own language, and he's soon also going to develop the way he work in this technology that you use now. And we help him with the communication, and we help him with open his mind, that he not need to be in a very deep state of himself to understand what is happening. It will be more obvious for him what is happening in a way he is now manifested on this planet.
Excellent. I thought it was an amazing display, and I know that the uh, people who watch these videos, I'm sure they're feeling the exact same way. I had a. What is the difference? You say we're on the same mission, but what he and I are doing are slightly different. Uh, what is the difference between our missions? Although the end game, our ultimate goal is the same, but what is the difference in what I'm focused on as opposed to what he's focused on? I know he's focused on technology and some things like that.
He is going to work more with the technique, the direct work with the technique, and you are more focused on getting the knowledge spread. And that's why you are connected in this timeline, because you're doing this session for spreading messages that are necessary for people to meditate on or to take into their souls and understanding, to reconnect to each other, to reconnect to the source, to reconnect to the energy levels you are in. So when you do this session, it's mostly to bring the knowledge out, but also to get understanding yourselves as individual, because you are individual manifested. But the goal is to reach a higher understanding, and you're doing that in a different way. You, the entity of Hank, is doing a lot of work in writing, in poetry, in sessions like this, and Lars is participating in this because it's a part of your deal to do this. It's a part of your contract together to bring this out. He do some work, but not in the level that you are doing with your writing and filming and painting. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But you're still very much connected with this energy that you perceived on that video. That is the one that connects you to him, to us, and to all living energy in the whole of the universe.
The Jane, very good. Um, those particular gentlemen that visit him, they had no expression whatsoever, and there were two this time, and one sat across from him, and one sat beside him. Um, I'm asking these questions just to help Lars and anyone else who may have an experience like this. Uh, were they what was the purpose of sitting beside him and across from him? And he was having a telepathic communication, and then the blank faces. Could you go into any detail, please, about that encounter?
It is also very hard sometimes for them to manifest into a reality that you can perceive, and you can perceive them as they are emotionless, but definitely there's a lot of love going on. The reason why they spread apart was because he was scared. He was very frightened when they approached him, and he was not ready to have that encounter. So his singular entity was not prepared for it, and they perceived that he was frightened, and they backed off a little bit, not to scare him anymore, because they had an important message for him.
I mean, to have a what that's called a close encounter of the fifth kind. That's pretty. I mean, and he's had how many? I mean, he's had many. Uh, that's pretty outstanding. Uh,
Many of you light workers have this encounter, and many of you need to have it because you have some difficulty to acknowledge something that you not can touch, see, feel with your senses. But this was not intention this time. The intention was that it was that time to be revealed for him, and that was where he was manifested at that moment. So we approached him in that way. It was important that it's got this message that we will not go into details now, but it was important for him to get that message then, and 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 that's why it was happening that way.
Understood. And he does have the message, or does he remember the message?
He has access to this
Oh, very
message.
good, very good. And this is good because when he listens to this, he can then go back and very good. He's also uh, been having encounters with a black raven, a bobcat, and a fox. And is there any significance in these animals that come? And the one, well, the raven, literally, he had a telepathic communication who asked for water, and he got the water, and the raven drank it. Are you familiar with these encounters that he's had?
This entity are there to help him ground himself in his work, because when you are in connect with your higher self, sometimes you lose the grip of some of the reality, and they help him bring him back to that grounded stage. Because when he perceived that entities, he's grounded back again, and that is a help for him to do that.
Is this the third dimensional grounding that you're referring to?
Yes, it's very important because you are in the third dimension with your manifestation.
But yet he's having telepathic communications with the.
That's an ability he has developed through all the years he has working in this field. That is ability that you all have. Some of you call it animal whispering,
Yes.
and some of you call it it telepathic, but it's the same thing. We are all able to communicate on that level, but not all of you realize that you have this ability.
I've been practicing with it with my dogs. Lars seems to be pretty advanced, which is that why he's able to connect with you in these sessions so easily.
That is helping him a lot because we can say he has one foot in your reality and one foot in a higher frequency, as same as you have as an entity, but you are not maybe in the same level able to communicate because you don't sometimes listen to the answer from you get from the questions. But in the same time you are because you express it in so many different ways, but not realize that it's come into your reality through communication on the telepathic level.
I figured all of the pieces that I write are coming to me telepathically because I'm hearing it in my head before I write it.
That is telepathic. And it's not just from one entity, it's from different communities, it's from different places that helping you to bring these messages forward. And you're doing a great work with that. And we are so pleased to be able to work with you in this area.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm absolutely sure Lars appreciates this as well. I know sometimes, well, if you hear our private conversations about the work that we're doing, we sort of, because we get responses from people sometimes that are not so good or whatever, but our intentions are pure and that's all that matters. So, uh,
Yeah, you
you,
have to realize that that responses is also good for you because it makes you more determined to bring this forward. Even the people that are criticizing you and criticizing your work is affected by work. They think they perceive it as this is nothing for me, but then you're in the same second planted a seed that is able to grow into another knowledge. So that is only good for everyone.
that makes me happy. I for myself, with like I said, with Lars, the raven, the bobcat, and the fox. For me, it's been a bluebird and dragons. I believe I felt that I've had two dragons with me for a lot of years, and I've actually spoken another session with another of my friends, and he said that I was dragon born. And then just recently, uh, there's a young lady, the Joy of the Garden. I may have gotten it wrong. Her name just popped up on the. She left a message. It popped up on the screen, um, and she was speaking about the dragon energy. Do you? What can you tell us about the dragon energy, please?
The dragon is entity that are not manifested, but is still an energy, and is an energy and a level that are supporting you in your way that you're traveling through this timeline, and they are supporting you in an energetically level, and the the energy of dragons is powerful, really powerful, and that is holding you, so to speak, under your arms, taking care of you in every single situation in your life. They are always with you, have always been with you, but they are not dragons. They are the energy of dragons.
Understood. As humans, we have to use words that everyone can relate to, or we'll just sound crazy. So
You really love to use labels and boundaries and borders, but you
I
will
know.
soon get lost of that kind of thinking, and we're looking forward to that because it will be so much easier for you all to feel that you are connected. It will be so much easier to feel the love frequency that's flowing to all living, every living being, every tree, every grass on the field. Everything is connected. Some of you can see it, some of you can feel it, but many of you are denying it. That's why you're doing this work, to help them come over this, that what I can't feel, what I can't perceive with my senses is not real. Many of you still think that the only thing that is real is what I can taste, feel, smell, and hear. And that it's not the truth at all.
Yeah, it sort of goes along with being in a polarized state where you have hot and cold and left and right and male and female. It's a part of the realm. Uh, but I look forward, as well as many other people, to rise above the realm. I think we've learned and gained everything we can from this state,
Yes,
personal.
you are no longer in any need to connect to that reality that you perceive with only these senses you have in your manifestation. You can connect in a much higher level, and that is coming through more and more for every day that is passing, and more of you receiving this, and more of you are waking up. There's lot of light entities, light beings that are manifested on the planet to help you take away that curtain you have in front of your eyes, and your, especially your third eye, because you don't need to use your physical eye to see what's going on. You can see that internally, and you have always had that ability, but being depressed of that knowledge. So now it's a change going on that is good. There's a change going on that is appreciated all over the universe, not only in your galaxy. It's appreciated that you raise the frequency, and it's so important of you to get rid of all boundaries, all all things or energy that are holding you back in your development.
As long as we are physically manifest in these bodies, um,
You
the
still
only way
have
we can do that is mentally.
you still have access to your third eye. You still have access to the connections, but you are not willingly, or at least have not been willingly listen to that. And because you want to listen with your ears, you will not listen with your intuition, as you like to call it. That you have to understand that your physical uh, senses can play tricks. Your eyes and your brain like to make shapes, like to make sense of what you see, but then you also lack the ability to really see, to really open your third eye to what's going on and what is happening around you. And that's also a way that the elite have taught you through your school system, through your military system, and all different places you have attended, as from an early age of your manifestation, you have been indoctrinated in a very deep way with a a bad attention behind it. And it's changing now. The school system is changing. The military system is changing. Many countries are no longer drafted people into the military. It's a totally free will to go into that area. And the goal is, of course, there is not longer any need for any military entities because the, the time of war, time of conflict is coming to an end.
Well, this state is temporary, and we understand that. And of course, with the vibrations rising, all of these things are ushering in these lighter vibrations, uh, higher vibrations, to make it easier for everyone to get past the programming and the old belief system that they had been indoctrinated with. That's the purpose of, and of course, people, light workers, and coming forward and sharing their truth or sharing their information, and hopefully others more and more resonate as we present this material. And at one point, like we say, soon. So many people are waiting for soon. I get a lot of questions. When is this energy going to get, so incredible? Um, but you don't have to answer that. We already know what's coming. We can feel it every day. I think that especially with this channel, my channel, when you show yourself and the light beings flying through and shooting through his crown chakra, through into his third eye, into his throat chakra, that's huge. To me, it's proof. I couldn't fake this stuff. I mean, if anyone knows, you're on a tablet and with a raggedy little power plug that may go out at any moment because it's the orange there. Hopefully, with it plugged in, it won't lose. I don't have the technology to be able to come make that stuff up. We are very appreciative for all of the information that comes through every single time, and
It
we
was
get a
our
lot.
intention to do this, and we are happily, happily helping with this attention you have. And we are delighted to work with you, but it's very difficult to, to spread a message for the masses that have been manipulated,
Manipulated.
manipulated for so long. It's not that easy. We cannot just put up a sign to say stop doing this because the most of you will not listen to it. There is a lot of signs out in your reality that trying to get you focused in different way. There are ads, there are religions, there are so many things that are distracting you from the path you need to go. And that is also the energy that holding you back in your struggle to get into a higher frequency. We're not so keen to call it higher frequency because everything is energy and frequency. But when we say higher frequency, it's for some of you that don't understand that it's not meant to be a better frequency. It's just a different frequency. It's just a different level. It's nothing better or nothing lower or higher. It's just a different form of energy. You have energy in form of light or have energy in form of heat, but one or the other is not better than anything else. So we want to express this also when you and many of you are talking about high frequency, you almost always talk about a higher understanding of what is going on. And
For
this,
myself, I'm sorry to interrupt. For myself, it's more like higher in terms of volume of information that one may have, which makes it different from the other who may not have the information. Does that help at all?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yes. It's very important to understand there there is no containing in different area. It's all floating together in a beautiful concert of energy and love. And there is no boundaries, there is no borders, there's nothing holding this back because it's not possible to do that. It's not possible to hold back a thought. It's not possible to hold back love. You are just flowing with that. And we want to take this opportunity to put that forward, that the elite thinking that anything else is more important than anything else. That is not true. That is just a way to holding your extension and understanding back.
So there is only here and now as one in love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Very good.
And the
Very, very good.
future and the past and the present is still moving on for now and forever. There is no past, there is no future, and even there is no not now because all existing in the same moment, in the same moment, and all is connected.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And I know this will also give a lot of people an opportunity to really think and ponder the information. And as I always say, I'm extremely appreciative. I know that everyone will totally appreciate this. I can't say it anymore. And I just saw my computer just flashed and said that the timing of the power is getting ready to go out. We had a sort of a long conversation before we started this. So if there's anything else that you'd like to share now in this moment with all those who are listening, we would appreciate it. I can always save my questions until the next time. Um, I always have more, so
We just need
please.
want to enforce the importance of getting rid of old energy that is holding you back. And energy that is holding you back is the energy of you're not doing in the right way, you're not living in the right way, you're not thinking in the right way. That is just energy to hold you back. Free yourself from that. Free yourself of fears. Free yourself of hatred and reconnect again.
With us, as we,
Yes,
as one.
as one, but not as I, as all, but even not at us, as us. You need to reconnect in a level with true, honest feeling. You cannot fake it. You can say, I love you, but if you say it, it's not the same as you do it. You need to love with your heart.
And I say with one's actions, maybe.
It says more than a word, yes.
Very good. Rosetta,
Yes.
we are very happy that you've come forward. I just want before we leave this, and we're getting ready to bring Lars out of this because, like I said, I have a feeling I don't want to just be cut off uh, with the machine just going off, the technology going off. Um, this is a question I normally ask way in the very beginning. I know you're an energy entity, and you described your planet and the work that you're doing. would you describe yourself in terms of, if said for instance, if you were to physically manifest for us, or just a holograph of yourself, of how would you describe yourself? Are you just light, or do you have a particular form that you may have had in a simultaneous
I can
expression of yourself?
choose to manifest physically if I want to, if I need to. If I were there among you, maybe you should see me as a scientist, because
Ah,
is the frequency and energy I'm holding in this specific timeline.
and are you an aspect of Lars then as well?
And yes, as we all are.
Okay.
And maybe I'm stepping forward because he's working very technically. As we speak now, he's off working on, as you sometimes say, a gadget, working on a gadget. And he's getting help to understand what that gadget is meant to do.
So when you came forward, an aspect of himself uh, went to go work on the gadget then?
He's a good in to develop to divide himself into many different aspects when you're doing these sessions. So one part of him is think he's physically working on a gadget. One part of him is still here communicating with you because we use his voice box to do that, of course. And one aspect of him is overviewing what is happening right now.
Ah,
Uh,
very good. You know what? I actually do have one more question. Do you mind? If we get cut off, then I'll tell everyone I'm very sorry, and they'll get over it, and then we'll, finish it out later or the next time. Uh,
it's okay if you want to ask another question, and if your energy is not enough to take all of this into your technology, it's not any of your doing. It's just the way it is.
okay, exactly. Okay. Could you because you've been speaking about Lars's multidimensional self. Could you elaborate on being a multidimensional personality that's not that's like such as us who've temporarily focused in physical reality? Could you uh, expand upon multidimensionality for those who are listening in, please?
It's hard to explain, but we can say that we have no limitation in what we perceive in energy level and in different frequency. You are now limited, many of you are limited to this third dimension density, but we are moving freely through the frequencies and through the energy levels. You are not longer bound to be in a physical manifestation. You can take a physical manifestation if it's necessary for you to do that in that moment. And we are not bound to timelines because time is not existing outside the space. It's the same thing. Space and time are tightly connected together, but nothing of that matter when you are in a higher frequency because there
And
are no borders.
in my understanding, or in Lars and I understanding, we're simultaneously living and simultaneously expressing ourselves on multiple dimensions at one time.
Yes, for some people it's very hard to understand. It almost sounds like you are schizophrenic, but not at all. On the contrary, you are very much aware what is going on around you, but you also are grounded because you have manifested in a physical body, but you not need the physical body to exist. You will always exist as an energy because in the bottom of all, you are a creation out of the source where no one, no one in the universe can point out what the source is. But it's not a man in a long beard sitting on a cloud waiting for people to die. That is an old perception and it's totally wrong. It's just a manifestation that it's just a confirmation that we are all connected and has always been and will still continue to be from now and forever.
Excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. That was brilliant. And we are, once again, as I always say, extremely appreciative. And now I am asking for Rosetta to fade or recede to where Rosetta belongs with much love and thanks for the help and information it has been giving Lars and myself today.